Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at the Cardano chart and the Bitcoin chart. Won't make it a very long video because Cardano and Bitcoin both haven't really moved, whereas some others like Ethereum, I think Ethereum is sort of leading the market here at the moment together with Binance Coin and Solana. So they are continuing to go up, and Ethereum, by the way, I will make a video later on that. But if we see a breakout above 4,850, I think we can well go all the way up to 5,500. That would then be the an immediate bullish scenario. You know, I talked about a potential retracement to 3,500 before we continue our way up. But that means at the moment that this wave one within which we were for Ethereum hasn't finished yet. If we continue to break, and if we break above the 4,850 level. But this video here is about Bitcoin and Cardano, so let's take a look at them. Not much has happened on the Bitcoin chart. So the beginning of a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure here to the upside, but at the moment we cannot see yet that impulse completing to the upside and continuing. So we can define here a support level at 56.7k. You can see how here on the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin we're actually coming down here to this support level. Had a touch point here that was on the 29th. We tried to get below this one here on the 30th here as well throughout today. Tried to get below it, didn't make it. Now we are slightly going up again, but really what you can see that we're actually in a triangle structure here. I think we've got one touch point up there, another one and another one, so 3 touch point, valid trend line. And I think we need to break out of this descending trend line now. So that is one that you can put on your charts. Support level here, I think if we break that to the downside, yeah, then first of all we've got some support here, and you can see that actually that previous low, plus here there's a bit of an area of resistance and support. So I would say that's around the 56k mark. Yeah, that's a bit of a zone here, but 56k I think will be a support level, especially as before here on the left hand side you can see that we had support there before on the 24th of November, and yeah, so this should provide some support should we really break below 56.7. Further down then you've got probably quite significant support at 55k, yeah, which is this area here, 55k, and then should we really lose that, I think we can go all the way down to 53.5k again, where we found support here, and the 111-day moving average, which is actually sitting at 53.5k at the moment. So that should provide support on the downside. Now if we want to break that pattern here to the upside, which we should hopefully do, we are going to need a breakout above 58k. But then really I won't really speak about a sustainable move to the upside before we have broken above 59.5k. And I did say that before. Also a bit disappointing that Bitcoin closed just below 57k the month, so we didn't really make it above 57k. But overall I want to see a break above 59.5k for Bitcoin. Now we don't see that. I think the focus is on Ethereum at the moment. Overall I don't like that structure here that Bitcoin is doing anyway. It doesn't really look great. It's not a great 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beginning, but overall we did such an ugly structure already back down here when we started to move up. Bitcoin is doing these things. You can see that these 99% retracements really came down again, making the same low as the beginning of the wave, and then we started to move up. Maybe this is something like what we did here. That was back in September. You did something very similar. You came up, actually made a lower high, then we consolidated and broke out of a triangle structure here to the upside, then consolidated again in this sort of rectangle pattern and moved up to new all-time highs actually. So this is something that we could see again, not impossible obviously. And overall if we can zoom in here, you can see that triangle structure. Now here on the 4 hour chart you can actually see that you could actually move that trend line a little bit, and actually on the 4 hour it's looking a bit different. On the 4 hour it looks like a symmetrical triangle, which would be even better because these would be generally considered a consolidation or continuation pattern. So from a 4 hour point of view it looks like that we're actually here in the apex now, and we should expect a breakout in the next few hours, hopefully to the upside, because this is normally a trend continuation. And if we assume the trend has shifted here due to that beginning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern, which is always going in the direction of the high level trend, then we should see a breakout here to the upside, and that could take us possibly all the way up to the 20-day moving average here at 59.3k, or ideally above 59.5k, and then hopefully also above the psychological important mark of 60k. But I think in that next move we won't get there yet. but let's hope. Personally, my feeling would be that we break this to the upside, especially as we see some positive volume and direction now on Ethereum, Solana, and so on, and because we see this beginning of a 1 2 3 4 5 structure that I mentioned, plus this symmetrical triangle, which is a trend continuation pattern. Cardano did, we had a triangle here on the chart earlier today. We broke above that triangle here. I did say it's also looking actually not a triangle, more a descending wedge, which basically means that lower support level here was at an angle, and I said I would expect here a breakout to the upside, because a descending wedge is generally considered a bullish pattern, where just sellers have difficulties to push the price much lower. And overall, yeah, we did break it to the upside. And however, we don't see the volume yet. I think the volume is needed to really push it higher. I mean, you saw a breakout here, but that wasn't really a massive one. So overall, now you could even possibly move those trend lines and things look a bit different then. But yeah, let's just see if we can put that differently based on that. And that's what sometimes happens. You have to shift and move these trend lines. So I wouldn't say this was a real breakout yet, because we just don't see the volume. Maybe we are still in this descending wedge, just different shape, bit of a different shape with changed support and resistance lines. So yeah, let's see how that progresses. But overall, still a descending wedge, and I would expect then here also a breakout to the upside if Bitcoin breaks out its pattern to the upside, where we are currently in this apex. Then hopefully Cardano will also attempt a breakout, and we're currently here at a breakout point. That breakout point is at 160. So if we break above this one here, then yeah, we should see some volume picking up, ideally a retest of that former resistance, then support, and then continuation to the upside. So again, we're currently here in a range, moving since that strong move up, that strong reaction that we had to the 147 level, that Fibonacci retracement level that I talked about many times in these videos. So hopefully all of this is hopefully just a consolidation before and a preparation before a new move to the upside here. So that is what I think here currently. And overall, as I said before, I still expect here a return into a bullish market. Yeah, I mean, you can see this is exactly the same pattern that we did before. We're doing the same thing again, just a little bit larger, took a little bit longer. We are in this range that we expected, and we didn't even get into this 125 to 146 range, luckily. So we stayed above 146, and from here then, because we are currently in a wave 2 here in purple, I would expect the continuation in a wave 3 to the upside from here. And overall, this should take us to $4.50 to $5, maybe even higher. Not in the next few weeks. Someone asked me if my prediction till the year end still stands. Well, I don't know if, I talked about 450 end of this year before. Obviously, this is dragging longer and longer, and unfortunately, the Elliott Waves never give us time frames. This is unfortunately the case. Personally, I think, December could become a really strong month. So the 450 for Cardano is not unrealistic. It is possible, even though it seems like a massive increase. But last time when it really kicked off for Cardano, it took a month to get to all-time highs. So, I think it is possibly not very likely we get to 450 in December, but I think we'll see the turnaround here in December. That is what I think. And if we are on our way to the upside here, then, I guess nobody has a problem with it going into January. That's what I think. That's what I hope. Nobody knows, just my expectation. Please take it with a pinch of salt. As always, this is no financial advice. But I think if we just look at the chart here, I think this is really looking like the possible low that we have formed here. But then again, you can't really, because we had that before here. You dropped to a key level of support here. Then we moved actually all the way up to 240. I remember that everybody was getting excited, but then we dropped again even lower, and that was Bitcoin dropping then, dragging a Cardano down. I mean, Cardano was ready at this point. I think it did really do really well. But I think it was again like in the last few weeks and months when Cardano tried to break out, it was always Bitcoin really pushing down for some reason. So that is what we observed many times on this channel. And yeah, it pushed us a few levels lower, to be honest, to the next fib level. So from here in this yellow target range, I still expect a turnaround. And yeah, back into the positive, you know, levels. I mean, we were now oversold. We talked about that here on the daily. Cardano, in my view, is one of the most undervalued cryptocurrencies at the moment, to get together with VeChain, for example. Not many people talk about them at the moment. People get frustrated, but that's actually when I like to buy, to be honest. Because why would you buy at $3, $4 if you can get it at 1.59? Today, basically, there was some news coming out as well, just confirming that Cardano has run without a failure in 4 years. I mean, that's a great achievement. Also, I think they've passed an important mark for transactions, plus, you know, without an outage in 4 years. I think it's a great achievement, and it might become one of the most reliable blockchains, you know, and low fees anyway. So more and more is being built. They just need to launch that Bluetooth backend, and I think then we're good to go. So hopefully you liked that video about Cardano. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.